All right. Heard from Woo Woo friend. She's been telling me this, but back in March, she was getting. There's going to be some kind of major event, scandal. It brings out corruption in politics, banking, finance, entertainment. There's this huge thing that's coming. Scandal, whatever. Somehow or another, it leads to people flooding money into the crypto market. Money comes flooding into the crypto market. Now, as I'm telling you this, I have a thought come in that I didn't have a minute ago when I was updating my patrons about that and some more. Is it the elite's money coming in because they're now scared of what Epstein's going to do and the government can confiscate from them? Are they now going to put their money spread across assets, including cryptos? I never asked her that. Nor did she get like a clear answer as to specifics from her guide, spirit guide. But as I just started talking to you, it kind of came in. So I'm going to go ahead and say it just because. Now, it might not be them who's doing it. There might be something that because of the banking scandal, oh my God, people are now scared. Regular people, not the elite, and they put their money into this. So there's a couple scenarios for you. She didn't say one way or the other. I just had that thought come in, figured I'd go ahead and say that. So on that note, let's go ahead and talk a little Epstein. You say Epstein, I say Epstein. Couple of things. Two different articles from Zero Hedge. Let's just get into it. All right. Title of both, and then I'll read one at a time. Epstein's arrest tells me Trump is now out for blood. Okay. Next. Epstein claims immunity. Prosecutors say extremely concerning images have been seized from this man. And I downloaded a PDF file with the list of like the logbook of who's been to his, I guess, pedo island or whatever you want to call it. So, and remember I told you the other day, hey man, remember the movie Friday? Chris Tucker? Heard he was there. Guess what? He was in the PDF. He was in the PDF. Contact information and such was all blacked out or redacted, as they say. There's quite a number of people, and I'm talking the king of this, the queen of that, the prince of this, prime minister of that. Whoa. Oh, trust me, good friends, Trump is out for blood. It's about to go down. Okay, that's not even for crypto. Although it could be, because if this leads to that and that leads to crypto's explosion, that was a pre horn blow for you in advance, futuristic kind of a thing. I'll gladly blow your horn today for a hamburger tomorrow or Tuesday. If anyone remembers the old Popeye thing. So let's get into this. The shorter one is, well, is there even a shorter one? Let's just go with that last one. Epstein claims immunity. Prosecutors say extremely concerning images have been seized. Update 4. So there's update 1, update 2, update 3, update 4. I got to start down lower. In a Monday bail memorandum letter to Judge Henry Pittman of the Southern District of New York, prosecutors said there was an extraordinary risk of flight, particularly given the defendant's exorbitant wealth, his ownership of and access to private planes capable of international travel, and his significant international ties. Also noted was the potential for Epstein to attempt to pressure and intimidate witnesses and potential witnesses in the case, including victims and their families, and otherwise attempt to obscure or obstruct justice. As a result, he poses both an acute danger to the community, including some of its most vulnerable members, and a significant risk of flight. More of the defendant has access to no more means of flee, sex frustration, More on the photographs found during the raid this weekend. Finally, despite having been previously convicted of a sex offense involving an underage victim, the defendant has continued to maintain a vast trove of lewd photographs of young-looking women or girls in his Manhattan mansion in a search of the New York residence on the night of his arrest, July 6th to 7th, 2019, pursuant to judicially authorized warrants. You know what I love about those FISA warrants and any kind of warrant? Now that Trump's president, as Q had actually said verbatim, warrants and getting them works both ways. You guys used to use them illegally, obtain them illegally, and use them illegally. We are going to use them legally, but the bottom line is we now have access to getting warrants. That's what Q was saying a while back. So, pursuant to judicially authorized warrants, law enforcement officers discovered not only specific evidence consistent with victim recollections of the inside of the mansion, further strengthening the evidence of the conduct charged in the indictment, but also at least hundreds and perhaps thousands of sexually suggestive photographs of fully or partially nude females. While these items were only seized this weekend and are still being reviewed, some of the nude or partially nude photographs appear to be of underage girls, including at least one girl who, according to her counsel, was underage at the time the relevant photos were taken. Additionally, some of the photographs referenced herein were discovered in a locked safe in which law enforcement officers also found compact discs with handwritten labels, including the following: Young, name plus name, miscellaneous nudes 1, and girl pics nude. The defendant, a registered sex offender, is not reformed. He is not chastened. He is not repentant. Rather, he is a continuing danger to the community and an individual who faces devastating evidence supporting deeply serious charges. Update, first one. Prosecutors alleged during a Monday morning press conference that they discovered nude photos of underage girls during a raid of Epstein's Manhattan mansion. Update 2. According to OANN's Jack Posobiec, almost said Einstein, Epstein is willing to cooperate with the investigation, including giving up the names of those who engaged in sex with underage girls in exchange for a maximum sentence to not exceed 5 years. But Joe, Donald Trump's name is on there. He's been on that plane. He's been on his plane. Yeah, you know what? Donald Trump took one flight. You know Donald Trump has a big mansion, and maybe more than one, in Florida. He took a flight, hitched a ride, so to speak, to New York. Only time he was on his aircraft, as far as I found. Yeah, but no Pedo Island, no Leongo, no. Just hitched a ride to New York, where he has his business, practices up there. Just want to throw that out there. The hearing has adjourned until Thursday, the 11th. Update 3, Epstein pleaded not guilty during his Monday arraignment. His lawyer has asked the judge to set aside any decision on granting bail for 3 days while Epstein remains in custody, and has called the case essentially a do-over on ancient stuff. Well, it could be ancient. You could rape a young girl 20 years ago. Oh, it's ancient. But it doesn't change the fact that you raped a girl. Throw the effing book at them all. Moving on. Update 4. In a second Monday hearing, Epstein's attorneys have argued that he has immunity. Not he isn't immunity. He has immunity under a 2008 plea deal. As we noted earlier, however, the new case includes additional alleged victims who were not covered by Epstein's non-prosecution agreement, according to Bloomberg. His attorneys have also argued that the images seized in a raid of his Manhattan mansion are ancient and show consenting adults. Prosecutors, on the other hand, say that the images are extremely concerning. Epstein's bail hearing has been rescheduled to July 15th. 2008 plea deal. You do recall who was head of FBI, don't you? Robert effing Mueller. Wonder who helped him get a sweet deal. Oh, this is going to get good, people. This is going to get so effing good. Trump is laying down, like, in an ancient technology, this one's for JC, an ancient technology chair that has magical, mystical powers. Not anyone can sit in this chair. It could fry your brain if you're not spiritually, at the level you need to be at. And this chair also resides in a pyramid somewhere. And that's Donald Trump just basically, he's got his shoes off. It's like he's in a sauna or like a jacuzzi in this thing. Just like, I thought you said this had magical powers. It feels normal to me. Maybe smoking a cigar. He doesn't really smoke, but I can just see it with a nice cigar. Maybe just chewing on it a little bit, get that flavor going, it's about to get good. Oh, the American people, all those who believed in me, it's about to get good. It's about to get real good. Moving on to the other article. Epstein's arrest tells me Trump is now out for blood. Authored by Tom Luongo. Serial pederast Jeffrey Epstein is going to be arrested again. The big questions are why and why now? I never doubted Donald Trump's sincerity in wanting Hillary in jail, but the reality is that Trump was not in any position to do so until a few months ago, when Attorney General William Barr ended the Mueller investigation back in February. That was a turning point. I talked about it back then in a piece called "The Old Political Order is Just Old." Mueller, his staff of hatchet men, and the Obama administration, and the rest of the corrupt old guard in D.C. fully expected to be allowed free rein to convict Trump politically of obstruction of justice based on an interpretation of federal statutes that could only be justified in the world of Philip K. Dick's Minority Report. When that didn't happen, they are now looking at potential blowback from a vain and vindictive man occupying the supposedly most powerful office in the world. But is that really the case anymore? It seems John Bolton has been more president than Trump recently. I was cautiously optimistic that Trump would turn the corner on his presidency now that Mueller impeachment and the rest of it would lift from his shoulders. His foreign policy maneuvers didn't fill me with much, if any, confirmation of this hope. But domestically, signs were there that he had stabilized the battlefield. Epstein's arrest tells me he's now out for blood. Because this goes directly to the heart of the matter, Trump left the Clintons' social circle in disgust, and I'm convinced he ran to stop her corrupt sellout of the U.S., which I agree. I think that's exactly why he ran. Couldn't take it anymore. And I'll never forget, again, that little roasting that he did of Hillary Clinton himself. It takes a village to raise a kid, they say, the kids. Especially in Haiti, as Hillary Clinton would know. Whoa, what did he mean by that? And remember Obama. Yeah, Donald Trump, who was in the audience, sitting at a table, says, I'm the worst president ever. Well, at least I'm going to be a president. As if he had no chance of winning. And then Trump won. And if you look back at when President Obama was sitting next to Trump during the transitionary periods, every single time, pretty much, the look of holy shit discomfort on Obama's face and the look on Donald Trump's face of absolute power, integrity, honesty, and I'm going to effing wipe the floor with you. And the party's finally getting started. Well, we've been waiting. Why did he say wait till now? Why? Because he had to drain the swamp and put the proper people in the proper positions so that they could go after these people. You can't tell a bad guy to go after him and his friends. You can't tell James Comey, I want you to go after Mueller and, numerous FBI, Lisa Page, Strzok, all these people. Well, no, that's my club and we're not going to arrest each other, No, thanks, Mr. President, but no. Until William Barr got in the house, up in the house. And all the mainstream, they're going to indict the Trump's kids. They're going to go after them. Oh, wait a minute. What's this? No collusion? No other charges brought? Whoa. You remember that email leak from WikiLeaks of Podesta and Hillary. I believe it was her talking to him. And I love saying this because it's fantastic. If that bastard wins, we're all gonna hang. You better fix this shit. Remember that? Something, I forgot that last part was before or after, whatever. Remember that? They are in so much trouble. It's freaking fantastic. Stand by. So moving back to this article, again, Epstein's arrest tells me he's now out for blood, because this goes directly to the heart of the matter. Trump left the Clinton social circle in disgust, and I'm convinced he ran to stop her corrupt sellout of the U.S. Never forget that while corruption is rampant in D.C., it's not all pervasive. It's not a black and white thing. William Barr may not be a Boy Scout or anything, but even he, like Trump, has a disgust circuit, and that circuit has a threshold. The level of corruption of the Departments of Justice, State, Treasury, and the intelligence agencies needed to coordinate the Russiagate hoax, all to serve as Hillary's revenge porn was too much for enough people. Now, did you notice something he just added there? The level of corruption at the Departments of Justice, State, and Treasury, and the intelligence agency. Treasury. What was I just saying about my woo-woo friend? Thinking something with banking, finance, elite, government, it's going to come. And this, she said, Joe, I think it's that I was told in March about there's something like this going to happen. It was going to cause cryptos to really move up. In April, I got something else on it, and she goes, I'm now pretty convinced this arrest of Epstein is leading directly to whatever corruption is about to come to the surface. It's about to come out, and when it does, whatever it is going to cause a flight into cryptos. She goes, that's what I was getting. That's why she has these huge numbers for a bunch of these coins. And there's still plenty of people in all those departments willing to step up now that the board state has changed. In other words, the top guys, you're in the sheriff's office and I'm a corporal. Okay, corporal. Well, I'm a sergeant. I'm above you, corporal. But we got a lieutenant, we got a captain, we got a major, we got the undersheriff, we got the sheriff. And the sheriff and the undersheriff and the major, they're all effing corrupt. Now, this is just an example. They're all corrupt. So what can the sergeant do? What can the lieutenant do? What can the corporal do? And what could the little itty bitty deputy do? Nothing. Shut your effing mouth, get back to work, do a good job. Look the other way, we may give you a little bonus and you'll become a sergeant yourself one day. But the top of the old guard have been replaced. That's what he's saying here. Remember back when Trump said we should just leave Hillary be, she's been through enough? That wasn't him capitulating to the deep state. That was him offering her a way out. He knew back then what was going on, but thought he was powerless to stop it politically. To go after her, you go after the person who is the Achilles heel, Epstein, through his association with Bill. Because what if this isn't just about Bill's antics, but this is more than just Hillary and Bill? This is like a far deeper of a rabbit hole than anyone in D.C. wants to admit. Don't think for a second that Epstein hasn't been blackmailing very prominent people for years, because he has, and they are all now scared to death. And Robert Mueller is up to his neck in this, because it was Mueller who helped Epstein mostly get off the hook the last time he had a court run-in and the documents were sealed, which now have been unsealed, by the way. Now that Mike Cernovich worked to get those documents unsealed, we have an arrest warrant a week later by a Justice Department led by someone, at this point, who's loyal to Trump. Even if Barr and Trump have a marriage of convenience here, it doesn't matter. What matters is that Epstein will no longer be able to hide behind Clinton bagmen and will this time have to cut a real deal to stay out of the old slammer. This process will be slow and painful, but it will grind to the kind of conclusion that will only benefit Trump's re-election bid. I've been telling you guys this for months and months and months and months. Matter of fact, since 2017 when he stepped into office. Not early, because I was still like, well, let's watch him. I like him, but I don't know. Oh, he just hired that guy. I don't like that guy. Oh, he's fired. He hired that guy. I don't like him. He's fired. Okay, well, all right. And I said, especially recently, on the 2020 campaign, he's going to play his cards perfectly. And the closer we get to it, the more dirt will come out until a massive climax of absolute incredible and corruption. Democrats stepping down. You hear Eric Swalwell? He's done. I'm stepping down. Moron. The rest there's going to be so many of them that step down. Like I said, I can't wait to see who the Democratic pick is. Is there a Democrat without any kind of corruption or blood, so to speak, on their hands? Not to say that the Republicans are clean either, but Donald Trump is, and he's the one running the Republican side. Of course, we may see some other Republicans try to take him down. There'll be rhinos who don't stand a chance. I don't even know. I mean, is anyone even going to stand up and try? Who's going to be left? Because you imagine going to the election and there's no one but Trump to vote for. A couple of independents, Could you imagine that? The guy wipes the floor clean with these people that so bad that there's no one that'll even run against him. That would be mind-blowingly amazing. So, what matters is that Epstein will no longer be able to hide behind Clinton bagmen and will this time have to cut a real deal to stay out of prison. This process will be slow and painful, but it will grind to the kind of conclusion that will only benefit Trump's re-election bid. It will be an epic drip feed of leaks, innuendos, implications, indictments, and the rest. Because there comes a point where the Alinsky method of accusing your enemy of the thing you do backfires when it's raping 14-year-old girls. Once this thing gets a head of steam, once the hashtag #MeToo crowd gets a hold of this, there won't be anyone left standing. Isn't it amazing to hear this right now? At least for me, because I've been saying that this is kind of how I see this being played out with Trump. This is fantastic. I always said Hillary would indict herself. Her insane lust for power and revenge against her obstacles led us here. And it will lead her to the same kind of shame and disgrace that benefits her avarice. When Nancy Pelosi's daughter is out there signaling for her mother on this immediately, some of our favorites are going to be in trouble. I actually retweeted back. I commented back to Nancy Pelosi's daughter, are you sure you came from her lineage? I forgot the words I used, but it was like something like that. Are you sure you're actually her real daughter? Like, did you just say that? Mom, put the power pole down because you guys are all in trouble. And you as the Speaker of the House, you better get your act together, Mom, because he knows stuff about you. I think that's what his daughter was telegraphing, to be honest with you. Pelosi doesn't roll over for nothing, folks. Think what you want about her, but she's a pit bull, and she rolled over on border wall funding last week. This Epstein arrest is a testament to what happens when the pendulum swings too far in one direction, where despicable people get away with the most heinous acts simply because they are connected in a web of corruption and venality. Maybe this is the moment of peak swamp. Maybe it's the moment where we can see things begin ever so slightly to improve. Is it too little too late? Likely, but something had to be done to keep our faith in our political and social institutions and keep those things intact, because otherwise, that way leads to only chaos and collapse. Now, having said that, with what Woo Woo Friend has told us, massive amounts of money are getting ready to flood into the crypto markets, and it's going to be an event like what just happened with Epstein getting arrested. Is it the elite putting their money, I don't want the government to steal it from me, let's put it in Bitcoin and crypto. And you know how much money they have, don't you? Those people, honestly, trillions. They have trillions of dollars, not billions. And if they're concerned, and believe me, they are effing concerned, everything I have could be seized. My house, my car, my precious metals even at my house or wherever it's stored. But if I put it in a crypto wallet and hide the crypto wallet somewhere, Only I know the password. Oh, when I finally get out of jail or prison, I can go back and get some of my wealth back. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine the very people that you and I absolutely despise, these sickos, helping us unknowingly and unwillingly at first, actually end up helping us create unbelievable amounts of wealth as they flood their money into the crypto market? Now, she didn't tell me that, because that's one scenario. That's scenario A. Scenario B is that people just see what the hell's going on. Banking collapse, something happened. Oh my God, it's this corruption. Epstein, oh my God, Hollywood, it's all. They get nervous. Oh, I got to put my money somewhere. I'm going to give you a scenario C. You're going to really like scenario C. Subsection C, 1. A happens. B happens. Together. You have the people getting scared. I'm going into crypto. You have the elite getting scared. I'm going into crypto. And you are sitting back here. Do I run this one? I do remember that. And that's what we do. Please don't you cry for me. My house is paid off and I got a Tesla. What can we do next? Let's go see. Could you imagine the very people that you effing hate because they're sick helping you get wealthy, not willingly, but out of fear? You want to talk about FOMO? There's a different kind of FOMO for them. Not the fear of missing out. The fear of going to prison and losing all my wealth and having it all confiscated. And they put it into crypto. And since most crypto, you can't create new ones, there's only a certain amount of them, causes massive inflation in the price of crypto. And you, who are all pissed off with the big crash of 2017, 18 at the end, oh my God, we're still patiently, still listening to my sorry, bald-headed self. I said, well, I'll see if this guy's right. You know, I'll hold in with him. May be massively rewarded beyond what you thought was coming, because what you thought was coming had nothing to do with corruption and fraud and all that. You just thought, oh, cryptos is going to be the new thing and the financial system is changing and all that, or whatever. You probably didn't expect massive amounts of extremely wealthy people who are terrified of losing everything they own because they're all caught up in it. You didn't expect them to go flood into crypto to try to save themselves, right? Even if they're smart about it, say, well, I got to diversify. I'm going to take my chance. I'll leave some of my money in the bank. I'll get some precious metals and I'll hide some somewhere else. I'll get some of these things, some of those, and I'll go ahead and get some crypto. Because if I get all this confiscated, they can't confiscate my crypto. Could you imagine this? I'm not saying that I know that that's how this is going to go. But it came in pretty hardcore when I started talking. Is that my spirit guide thing, woo-woo, spidey tingly sense going off? Or is that just me wishful thinking? I don't know. But I feel pretty confident in telling you, be ready for the all-time highs in the crypto market. It's about to go down. As in down the stuff, not the price. Price is going up. Take care.